Welcome in to Sport Talk with Dwat, episode number 25, where we're going to talk about the college football playoffs and the playoffs for the pros and maybe some college basketball as well, possibly. That being said, we're going to bring him in. First, I'll bring in Dan, the first time guest. What's going on, man?
I was enjoying life up here in Wisconsin. It's a nice chilly 20 degrees over here.
It's about 36 up here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. All right, Casper, you're up. What's going on, man?
And not a whole lot. It's 33. I saw three snowflakes today, just for the record. On the way from Chattanooga up here, I did see three entire flakes, so I guess it has snowed by Tennessee standards.
There you
All
go.
right, yeah, it's getting chilly here in Tennessee a little bit. Weekend wise for me, I'll kind of go first. Watch some of the football games on Thursday for the college, Thursday, Friday, and then let's see, Saturday night I've watched some of that Packers game. We'll dig into that here in just a little bit, and then today went walking with my wife and watched more of those games. What about you, Dan?
Watched a lot of football this weekend. Obviously the Packer game was the big one. I went to my buddy Justin's for the game.
Okay.
His mom was out of town, so he hosted for the game. She's out of town for the whole month, though. Of course, he doesn't come early to check the house out. We show up, it was at 50 degrees, the house was. So it was a really chilly first quarter before the heat began to kick in. So that was quite the surprise. We show up and everyone kept the coats on for the first quarter. So yeah.
I can imagine that is 50. No, thank you. I'd be like, all right, well, going to somebody else's house.
Yeah, so we put the heat on max as high as we could. So,
Okay. How about
There you
you,
go.
Casper?
Uh, I moved. I moved
Oh,
old JP from the Caution Flag Contemplations, got him moved, and then I watched college, and then we ended up watching most NFL yesterday evening. Me and my dad did so. Watched
mhm.
Panthers, do their normal, and Packers do their normal, and it happens. So I don't know. It's a good weekend. I'm just glad to see your favorite Bulldog. So it's been a pretty good week as far as I'm concerned, honestly.
Mhm.
yeah, it was good. News of the week. We're just going to jump on into some news of the week. I'm heading to the Bucks and the Hawks NBA game next Monday afternoon at 1 o'clock. First time for me going to a game, so I'm not sure what to expect with some of the stuff. But I got my parking pass, I got my tickets,
Yeah.
so that's gonna be something different for me. And they're playing the Bucks, Dan. So that's pretty cool to see on that.
Yeah. They've been struggling recently. They got Giannis back. He's healthy now. So hopefully he
Okay.
had sticks. They have done a road trip right now. They won two of three so far. They were a big game 10 against the Nuggets. If they can pull that out, you're 3-1 on this West Coast road trip. That might give them some momentum going forward. Giannis is playing like an MVP like he always does, but he's getting some help from some of these younger guys. Ryan Rollins is a good bench player. He actually leads the league in deflections, kind of a weird stat, but he's stepping up. Kevin Porter Jr. is becoming an excellent player. So a little surprising from this young Bucks team, but they're holding in there. They're about a couple games under 500 right now, but if they have this nice road trip, they can come back, get to 500, and keep climbing the standings in the East. That's what you need, and you got to win some of these road games, and they hopefully can keep that going.
Okay. Hey, that
Hmm.
sounds good to me. I'm I'm
Hmm.
I'm going to kind of learn about the Hawks a little bit, and I'm not sure what to wear because I don't have any gear. But I'm probably get down there and buy a hat, buy a shirt, something like that. Kind of get me a pennant for the
Hmm.
background there. Go ahead,
You got
Casper.
time.
Well,
You can order ahead of time, get you some Bucks stuff. I mean, you
yeah.
don't want to be pulling for the Hawks. I mean, come on
The
now.
Bucks are, it's a cool name. It's a cool team. It seems like they got some hot players that, from what I've seen, in the past and now into now. So that's something I'm looking forward to get the experience. Go down there, go to the varsity, get me a hot dog on the
Hmm.
way. It'll be a good day.
Well, they did just trade Trey Young, so you
I
maybe you could get a really cheap Trey Young shirt or
Oh
something,
yeah, I
There
got
you
me
like on
go.
a
like the cheap, yeah, like
shirt, jersey,
yeah,
you name it. I get
yeah, it's probably
something.
on sale right now.
Probably half off or more, I'd say.
Hmm.
Oh man, all right. The Falcons, the Ravens, the Dolphins, the Browns, the Raiders, the Cardinals fire their coaches post NFL season. What is the best job y'all think out there?
Right now, it's probably got to be the Ravens because you got MVP quarterback, you got talented on that roster, and most importantly, I love that front office. They seem like they always hit on those draft picks. And I just trust that front office the most. We got to see what happens in Green Bay and with Buffalo. Those jobs open up with Green Bay already lost if Buffalo doesn't get to the Super Bowl. But as of right now, I could pick if I could coach any team, give me Baltimore with that offense and that front office and that defense.
Okay, I like that, Casper.
Uh, yeah. I mean, I guess so. I don't know. I kind of what you said. I'm curious to see what else opens up here. I'm curious about your thoughts on the Packers and LaFleur. See what happens there. Um, I don't know. Then, Tomlin and Steelers, what happens with him if they lose
Oh, yeah.
to the Texans as well? So I don't know. A lot of swapping around going on. And then like I guess kind of to add to that conversation is who is like the next coach up? Because I don't really know. Same thing in college. Like there's a lot of openings and not necessarily that many coaches, I don't think.
Yeah, that's true. Last year you had the big names. Obviously, Ben Johnson was a big one, and Aaron Glenn was some of the big name. Otherwise, right now, I'm trying to blank on his name. Coach, the defensive coordinator for the Rams, supposed to be on that list. Obviously, Brian Flores in Minnesota, defensive coordinator, who was a head coach, is probably high up on that list. Jeff Hafley's gotten some mention. He ran the Packers defense the last 2 years. He came from Boston College as a head coach, never coached in the NFL before, though. So otherwise, you're looking at guys. Obviously, Jim Harbaugh would probably be high up. Obviously, when he's going to land.
Yeah.
Um, Mike McDaniel probably be an offensive coordinator, not a head coach, though. Mike McCarthy's name gets brought up a lot. See if he comes back into the league.
Yeah.
Anybody I
Yeah.
forgot? I'm trying to think. Nobody in
No, I
Um,
mean,
college, right? I don't think Cignetti's leaving Indiana. That would be a
no.
dream. That would be a dream hire, but I don't think he's leaving. But there's nobody big college names, right? Head coaches, you think it's going to make a jump? You guys?
No, no, not
No,
at this point. I mean, I think
no,
everybody's
yeah.
kind of settled in, so I don't think there's anybody good enough from college to go up, I guess is my thing. So I don't
No.
know. I'd rather coach pro than college at this point because college is a joke with all this transfer nonsense. At least in the NFL, they have real contracts that matter. So,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Definitely curious to see what happens. What are we talking about? What's going to happen with the LaFleur yet,
yeah, let's
Dan?
just go ahead
Dan?
and get into it,
Okay.
Dan.
Okay. Mhm.
Will he be fired from the Packers, you think?
Well, he's coming into this year. He has a contract for 1 more year, which is 2026. But they said they don't want to bring him back as a lame duck, which means they didn't rule it out though. So in theory, they could bring him back and just have him be, a 1 year deal. What I think is going to happen is I think they're going to look at moving on. And it's not just because of last night. It's second half leads. They have second half lead against the Broncos, lost that game. I mean, halftime lead against the Broncos, lost that game. Halftime lead against the Cowboys, tie. Two claps against the Bears. And in the playoffs, a lot of times they get outcoached and outsmarted in the second half. And that's what they're going to look at the front office is why is the other team making adjustments and we're not? He's done an excellent job developing quarterbacks, but it's not enough. I think he's a good coach, but if the standard is a Super Bowl, good's not good enough. And I think they're going to look at bringing somebody in, somebody who can win now. Is that going to be Harbaugh? Maybe Tomlin if he gets let go, but I don't have a high degree of confidence in this pick. He might be back, but I just think the patience is running really thin. The guy who makes that call, because remember the Packers don't have an owner, it's Ed Policy. He got to the job last year, so he's kind of new on the job right now. So we really don't have inclination of how he approaches the team or what his style is. It was a little surprising last year when he did not give LaFleur an extension. This would have been right before this season. So to me, that kind of told me he wasn't completely sold on LaFleur coming into this year. He wanted to see how he would play out. And giving up two first round picks going on this season to go 9-7-1 and losing the first round. I know you had injuries, but that's part of the game. And I just don't think the standard is much higher with him, I think. And I just think they're going to look to kind of take that next step.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, the
Hmm.
fan base is passionate up there in the
Hmm.
Green Bay area, and y'all want to win, and y'all want to win now probably. And
Hmm.
I watched that game, and we'll kind of get into this here in a little bit. But the
Hmm.
end, you had the fourth quarter lead, and you had a good
Hmm.
lead, and it
Hmm.
just. And so, was that on the coaching, you think, or was it on the players?
Oh, it's always not a little bit on both on each of them, but I mean, the thing was the Packers offense came out flat like in that third quarter. You had three drives that and all had punts. You come out at halftime, the Bears made adjustments on defense. The Packers looks like didn't make any adjustments on offense. I mean, Josh Jacobs disappeared in the second half. They couldn't run the ball. They couldn't move the ball. The defense kind of held on for that third quarter, then it just collapsed in that fourth quarter. Um, yeah, I mean, the missed kicks were huge, obviously. You do the math, that's 7 points you left off the board. Two missed field goals and a punt, an extra point. Okay, well, that's on the
Yeah.
player. That's not on the coach. But I mean, it pretty much this way. There's plenty of blame to go all around. Defense, offense, special teams. It was a huge collapse. And yeah, everyone can share the blame on that.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
really like your points on the kicks too. I mean, I think it's interesting that we're potentially talking about him not having a job, then Harbaugh not having a job, basically because of missed kicks at this point.
Mhm.
Like they would both have jobs for sure tomorrow. If kickers could hit when they're supposed to hit, I just find it interesting that that's what we're getting to. But It is what it is. I guess from the fan perspective up there, I'm just curious, what would people up there think about Tomlin? I've seen that one a lot. If that happened, would everybody be okay with that?
Well, I think they want someone who can win. I mean, I think with Tomlin and Harbaugh, the problem for them might have been they've been there so long, the message becomes stale. If you put him in, like, look at the dream scenario would be Andy Reid. He was at Philadelphia a long time, never won the big game. Then it ended, and then he goes to Kansas City, and it's almost like a new man, a new coach, just a new setting, fresh in it. So maybe you do bring Tomlin in or someone, but the fan base wants is somebody who can develop this young talent. I keep hearing the stat for the last couple of years, the Packers have the youngest roster in the NFL. So you have a very young roster. Somebody needs to develop these guys. Dobbs is a decent player. He makes some boneheaded mistakes. I mean, Matthew Golden, the first round pick this year, he had his first touchdown catch yesterday in the
Yeah.
playoffs. A first round pick went the entire season without catching a touchdown pass. That's inexcusable.
Good point for sure. Yeah. I'm really curious to see what happens up there with all the coaching. It's just crazy to me because like we obviously, you know, pay more attention to college and the coaching has been such a hot topic and here we are in the NFL, same thing again, a bunch of openings and potentially more to come. So,
Hmm.
definitely curious to see what happens with all that.
All right, let's move on to the Falcons. Matt Ryan is the president of football operations. What are some thoughts on these teams hiring their buddies, whether it's a player or a coach, coming back to be the president as a player that was there for many years as a quarterback? What's y'all's take on that?
I think it's just to save face with the fans for some reason. That's like the thing to go to is people like, oh, Matty Ice is back. I don't really know. I don't know that it means a whole lot. I guess we'll see what he can do, but the Falcons, they got screwed this year with Penix being hurt. I'd be curious to see, if he's healthy all year, what their season ended up being. So, we'll see what they got going forward, I suppose.
Dan?
My question is, what's the job title really do? President of operations. So they pretty much in charge. So he's not doing the roster. He's not doing game time stuff. He's not drafting the players. That's the GM. I think Elway has a similar job in Denver, right? So it seems like I don't know. I guess I don't have a hot take on this. I guess.
Yeah,
Hopefully he has some football knowledge. You can bring someone in because they fired the GM, I believe, right? You guys, you know more than
I
I
think
would.
Yes,
so.
GM
So
and
I
the
think,
coach both.
so I think his job right now is to hire the GM and the coach, and then let them guide the franchise from there. So they want to bring a football guy in who can, hire the GM coach and have it go from there. They do got good young talent on that team. They seems like they
Yes,
have, right? They got Bijan,
yes,
might be the best running back in the NFL. Drake London's a top 10 receiver. Would you say is that fair? In the NFL,
sure.
Yeah,
Drake
yeah.
London, yeah. So, and we'll see what happens with Penix. Yeah, yes, you got some young talent. You just, you got to get the GM, you got to get the coach, and you got to hit that right. You can't miss on the coach or the GM.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
then with the
Hmm.
coaching thing, like who's interested really to go to Atlanta too?
Hmm.
They
yeah.
don't have a lot of history per se. So,
Yeah, I agree with that. The fan base just isn't there. We just care a lot about, well, they care about the Georgia football and
Hmm.
college. So they would like to, just as a fan, it's empty down there. They got a nice new stadium, super nice. And
Hmm.
just when you watch those games, it's half empty. And they got the players, they got the stadium. You think they can get things going where it's fun to watch as a fan, and it's you kind of want to get into the team, but just that's just part of it. I hope they get coach, GM, and get a coach and get these players together. And it'd be cool to see the Falcons compete. But we'll have to see how that goes.
Yeah, I'm sure you've seen that stat. The Falcons never hosted a playoff game in that stadium. Georgia football has actually hosted more playoff games in that stadium than the Falcons have. Yeah.
Georgia's
Yes.
probably won more games in there than the Falcons have too, honestly, at this point. So,
Yeah.
uh,
I believe it. They are very good in that stadium. The dogs are.
especially
All
when
right,
we play
that
Georgia
about
Tech.
wraps that up. You got anything else for the news of the week?
No, not really. Oh, I want to point out Mercedes-Benz. I happened to look at soccer tickets. Round Cup, World Cup round one is USA versus Australia, Mercedes-Benz. The cheapest ticket, top row, probably can't even see the field, $3,500. Just for the
Okay. So
record.
so is Dwat paying with his podcast money or
Oh
what?
yeah,
I
I
hope
got you,
so.
buddy.
I
All
hope
right.
so. Actually, I don't care because it's soccer. I'm not going, but
Come on the show, you get a free ticket to the game. Come on down.
no, but we are going to the Georgia Tech Tennessee game though, so that one is he is on
Eh,
the hook for that one. So
You're
Okay.
on the list now. Come on the
yeah,
show, you get a free ticket to the Balls
yeah.
game, and they play Tech down in Atlanta. So hey, you're in there now. All right, let's move on to the college football playoffs. Fiesta Bowl was on Thursday night. 10 Miami versus 6 Ole Miss. That was at 7:30 on ESPN. I like what they were wearing. The helmet looked good for Ole Miss, and they had on the a blue top. But I thought it looked really good for Ole Miss Rebels. Man, Ole Miss was a team that's getting a lot of attention with the whole Lane Kiffin thing, where he moved on to LSU. And it was just as a fan for me, I was wanting to see can they come out, take care of Miami, and kind of prove to themselves. And just Miami um, was is just a good team, and they get they get in at a 10 seed. They knock off all these teams, and they're just going to keep rolling. And it was 17-13 at halftime, and the final was 31-27 Miami. Just it got good there in the second half, and Miami's gonna win and move on. And so I want to get y'all's takes on that game.
Casper, you want to go first? Do you want me to
Sure.
go?
I don't care
Okay,
either. I
go ahead.
Carson Beck finally emerges here with Miami, and the SEC is just going to show basically again that they just don't have it. I mean, I'm down here, prime SEC country, but they just ain't got it. Not winning an Natty again. I personally at this point am pulling for Miami. I think Miami got the luck of the draw here. I think playing Ole Miss down some more assistant coaches after the Kiffin departure. I really don't think anybody expect them to actually win their first game. So those coaches that went back, some of them left, some of the positions coaches were gone. So it's basically kind of a cluster on the coaching there. I know they had one guy that had only been at Ole Miss for 1 week that was an active coach on the sideline wearing a headset. That's not usually what you want to do trying to play for a national championship. And then, I think Mario Cristobal is a great coach. I think he gets those guys fired up to play football. I think he might need to back them down a little bit on the violence. Otherwise, they're going to have way too many 15-yard penalties and not
Mhm.
win a national championship. Got away with it against Ole Miss. I don't think they'll do it again. But good to see Carson Beck finally up there, Dwat's favorite Bulldog, out there getting it done in an ACC jersey to a team that tied for second with 5 teams in the ACC that shouldn't have been in the playoffs anyways. So I guess it's time to expand the playoff. I guess is my thing on that because I guess Notre Dame could have won if they'd made it in too. So really need to look at that. But yeah, I don't know. I thought it was a really good game.
Oh, it was a great game. There was what, 4 lead changes in the fourth quarter? Yeah,
Yeah,
it
shot for
was
shot.
yeah, great football game. Yeah, Miami, what was it? Had 41 minutes they had the ball. They controlled the time of possession. That defense line is legit for Miami. So Trinidad had no time back there. He almost had to come back at the end. They got the ball down there pretty quick. I thought, was that pass interference, you guys, at the end of the game? What do you guys think?
Oh yeah, I'll go first on that. It was definitely the you got to throw the flag. I feel like my
Mhm,
take is you got to throw the flag.
mhm.
No,
Casper? No.
no. I'm sorry. It's just the play. It's unfortunate. I will say I am tired of prevent defense of these end of game situations. Just giving up. They shouldn't have ever got him that close to start with. They gave him 20 yards twice in 18 seconds. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what are we doing with that? I don't know. Those end plays when it's just chuck it up. They're all holding each other, offense, defense. Just you got to figure out some way, I guess. But I don't like there. There needs to be some end of game rule. I don't know what it needs to be, but I just don't know that pass interference is right because it's kind of like offsetting. They're both pushing, grabbing. So I don't know. I'm okay with the no call. I think because it's desperation play, anyways.
Yeah, just gonna throw it up and see if they
Yeah.
can't come down with. So if you're on defense, you might as well try to affect that the best you can. And that's tough on the ref. Like, are they really going to call that in the last play of the game?
I mean, it's
Mm-hmm.
not. It's not to me. It's not a targeted throw to a specific receiver half the time. There's a group of them standing down there. It's just a jump ball, so it makes it really hard. If somebody grabs somebody by the helmet, and throws them on the ground, yes, but we're not there. It's only 15 yards in college anyway, so we have to do it again. So they need to fix that too. But that's a whole nother issue.
All
Mm-hmm.
right. All right. We will move on to the Peach Bowl. Atlanta, Georgia was where that game was being played at. You got 5 Oregon versus 1 Indiana. That was at 7:30 on ESPN. I like the helmet that was worn by Oregon. They finally have colors that match their team colors. So I like that. Sometimes they come out the black or the gray, and they were definitely wild. But I get it. Players are going to like that. They're going to feed into it. The fan base, I'm sure they like it. Give them something different to wear to the game. First off, there was like maybe what 5,000 fans there for Indiana, and maybe the rest
Got that backward.
it was all packed out for Indiana, and there wasn't many there for Oregon. So
Yeah, yeah,
which that was my bad on that.
yeah. You're good.
So packed out there for Indiana. It was amazing to see a school like that hasn't been around, that hasn't won much, and now they are a thing, and they got the fans that are out there supporting them. So it was great to see the quarterback go out there and just didn't have like a big day for passing yards, but he threw what 5 touchdowns, something like that. So
Mhm.
he really performed well, and he's could be a top pick there in the NFL draft. So he could go somewhere to the Raiders or somewhere like that when it comes to the NFL. So first play of the game. Let's just get into the game a little bit, man. Pick six by Oregon. So then it goes 7-0 Indiana right out of the gate. And I just thought Oregon was sloppy. First half, man, you can't be making these mistakes. You can't, if you're gonna make mistakes, make them early in the year. Don't make them in the playoffs. There's times where I was just as a fan just kind of confused on just the fumble there at one point. Just own teammate ran into him, fumbled the ball away. But they were able to bounce back after that pick six, and then they took the ball down the field to score a touchdown. So then it was 7-7. So that kind of worked out good. But first half, they had 3 turnovers. So that's just a lot. You can't be having that in the first half if you expect to win. And Indiana, they're a team. Now they went out and got these players. We kind of talked about this on the show last week with Casper. They bought the coach, they bought the players, and they are performing. And they got a lot of people supporting them with the money and whatnot. And I like the coach. I feel like most people like the coach. I haven't heard anything bad about the coach with the fans' thoughts, but he definitely looks a little bit not maybe not angry, but he looks very serious, kind of like a Saban would. Doesn't matter to score a touchdown. He's just kind of maybe like a hard nosed coach. He's very focused, and at the end of the game, he got it done. So I like Indiana. Man, it'd be cool to see them go 16-0. We'll kind of
Mhm.
talk about that game a little bit here in a minute for next Monday night. And but on this game, guys, let's kind of dig into some thoughts on it. Did you expect it to be like that, or kind of closer?
You can go ahead, Dan.
I thought it'd be closer. I thought Indiana was going to win, but I didn't see them drop in, what, 56 on them? I mean,
56-22.
yeah, jeez. I'll think I have for you, Dan Lanning. So last year, Oregon beats Ohio State, close game. See them again in the playoffs. Ohio State destroys them. This year, Oregon plays Indiana, close game, but Oregon loses, and Indiana destroys them in the playoffs. Should Dan Lanning be questioned about this more? I mean, this is twice where you've seen the team, second matchup, they just boat race you. It's like they came, made adjustments, and their adjustments worked, and yours didn't in the second matchup. What do you guys think?
I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say. I think Indiana is really good. I thought, when they beat Alabama, I was like, no, Alabama just played a bad game. But kind of to me after this game, I'm more leaning towards Indiana's just that good. I think they got the right coach. As far as
Mhm.
landing goes, you can't win them all. You can't win every time.
But getting blown out back-to-back years, not even being competitive.
To me, they lost that game in the first quarter on the turnovers. Like,
Well, yeah.
that pick six. Like, they just
Mhm,
lost momentum. I guess you
mhm,
can say that was dumb play, but then they like I don't know. That's really his fault, I guess, as a coach.
mhm,
I don't,
mhm.
but that's up to everybody's own opinion, I suppose. But I mean, I don't know. I did not expect Indiana to do what they did. I don't have a whole lot to say about the game other than Mendoza's good. Do have some things to say to Dwat. One, don't be knocking Under Armour uniforms because you're about to get some next year, so you might want to
Oh,
throw that key away. Okay. Number two, you said something else. I forget what it was, but yeah, Indiana's that good.
Mhm.
I don't know. It scares me.
yeah. So they're going to advance, and I was curious if they could beat some different teams, and they're proving that they can take care of the high speed teams. They can take
Mhm.
care of teams from the south, and they're in the Midwest. Is that right, Dan? Is that the Midwest, Indiana?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the
I was
Midwest.
wanting to
Mhm,
ask because
mhm.
I said in the past on one show I wasn't sure if it would be North or Midwest, but I'm glad you got to
Yeah.
confirm that for me.
Mhm.
I'm just here from the South, and I don't know all these terms from up the Midwest or North. So I guess that's about all we got on that game. I think. I mean, it was Indiana got them, and
Mhm.
for Oregon, they're a good team, and I had them going. I think I had them going all the way in my bracket. So
Yeah.
they're a good team, and that coach is good, and I hope he sticks around there for years to come.
Well, he'll be around, but I think the hot seats might be getting a little hotter. Remember, they have that Nike money too, so in NIL, they should be up there with those, with everyone else. And they have back-to-back years getting blown out. I mean, if you have a third year of that, I mean, so that seat's getting pretty hot.
Yeah, these in college these days, they better win, and they better win quick, and
Mhm.
maybe he'll get it turned around for next year, get some players in there for next year. All right, let's just go on into the national championship 10 versus 1 Monday. January 19th is when that's going to be. I wish it was played on the weekend, but we'll kind of talk about this. Let's just get into some of this NFL college football. Is college football just too nice and they want to work around the NFL, or what's the cause for all this scheduling, Dan?
It's the networks. I mean, ESPN's paying for that game. They're not going to want to go against an NFL playoff game for obvious
Yeah.
reasons. Monday night, there's no football, so own the night. You can own
Mm.
Monday night. So, I mean, you're not going to play probably on Friday. So Monday's a perfect night to have it. You have
Yeah.
four or two games, NFL games on Saturday, two on Sunday, and then Monday night we have our championship.
Yeah, that's a good way to say it. I like it.
Mhm.
Seth?
I mean, obviously networks is why we played. The money, it's stupid. I didn't really like playing those games Thursday, Friday. That was more of an issue for me. Monday's fine. I
Okay.
don't know. I mean, it's
Oh,
going to be an interesting game. It shouldn't be close. 10 versus 1, right?
yeah.
So,
Do y'all have a thought going into this game? Score prediction, high scoring, low scoring?
I think Indiana by 2 touchdowns.
Okay. Casper?
I hadn't decided yet.
Okay.
Do I get till next week?
That's
Well, it
oh yeah.
doesn't.
It's just a thought. It's just an
I
early
I
thought.
I feel like Indiana should win. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think Carson Beck might have that dog in him, you know?
Yeah.
I really I'm wondering. We'll see.
Yeah,
It'll
I
be
think those
it's,
injuries, the injuries to the Miami secondary had me worried, and they lost the
Yeah.
cornerback for the first half now because they're
Yeah.
targeting. So I
Yeah.
think there was Miami, those Indiana receivers against the banged up Miami secondary. I think that's going to be, what the size of the game.
For sure. 16-0 is tough though. Like it's a mental thing to me. I'm like, that's tough. It's
Mhm.
a lot of winning, not a lot of losing. So I don't
Plus,
know. We'll
because we
see
have
what
more playoff
happens.
games too. Like 2019
Yeah.
LSU could have gone 16-0. It's just because we have more games now. Yeah.
Yeah.
all right, I got one for you, Dan. So these
Mhm.
guys are always going here, there for transfers. So the Badgers. So let's talk about the red team up north there. Let's talk about the
Mhm.
Badgers. I heard they got a quarterback. Who they got?
Colton Joseph. He was, yeah, played for Old Dominion last year. So he was all conference in the Sun Belt. So when they began the transfer portal for this offseason, they were looking at, he was the number one quarterback who they wanted. Not number one in the whole portal, obviously, but number one guy who they wanted. He can run and pass. So they got him. He has 2 years eligibility left. So you don't get him for 1 year, you get him for 2 years, which is nice, assuming he stays both years. And yeah, that's the biggest thing they need. They have some defensive players that are pretty solid, but they've had some really bad injury luck. 3 years in a row, their starting quarterback got injured early on in the season, never came back. So this will be the fourth year now for Fickle. Hopefully, he finally has his quarterback.
Okay, I got one for you, Dan, as
Mhm.
well. Fan base wise, do the fans care about the Badgers up there, or is it more just Packers?
Well, Packers are one. It's like one A. I would say number two, surprised to be the Milwaukee Brewers for the state, and three, I would
Okay.
say, is the Badgers. Um, yeah. And then fourth would probably be the Bucks, to be honest.
Okay.
So, no, Badger football is big. It's not as big as the Packers by far, obviously. But I mean, on a Saturday night, if they're playing like a big marquee game, it gets high ratings. But like, yeah, nothing touches the Packers football around here.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's kind of probably is down here. Fans are
Mm-hmm.
going to be more into, I guess, college football down here compared to like the
Mm-hmm.
Falcons or Titans. We're going to rank ours college, and then it'd probably go into the pros for second for us. And then, I got the Braves, so that probably ranks up there towards the top. I keep up with the Braves. Well, I got my Brewer shirt on, but for
Mm-hmm.
you, Dan. But yeah, we
Nice.
keep up with the Braves quite a bit down here in the South. Anything else, Casper, for you on that? Any of that?
Nah, I'm good.
Okay. All right. Transfer news a little bit. We'll go into this. The Vols are picking up some players from Penn State after their coach on defense has gone to Tennessee. So Jim Knowles is starting to bring some of his players down to Tennessee. So first I wasn't real sure, but I feel like if he's going to bring the guys that know him, and then that should work out pretty good for the Vols on the defensive side. But college football news, real quick: Georgia Tech has hired Jason Seymour from Memphis. He was there for 2 weeks. He followed a coach over to Memphis, and then Tech got him back. So once again, this is kind of the buddy situation. He must know Brent Key. He was a coach there at Tech a while back, and now he's back. So it's kind of weird. He was there for 2 weeks at Memphis. So our coordinator went to Texas, some kind of assistant. So I have to ask my dad about some of this and get his thoughts on that. Tech hired George Gotsey from last week. Another one of the buddy deals. They're getting some good deals on the money side of things. They must be. So hopefully they're putting this money saving into the players. We've been plucking some players from Alabama on the transfer portal. We got guy that plays both offense and defense, and as I see these names of these players transferring around, I just really hope that these guys that come from big to big, I hope these players are wanting to play, wanting to be there, and understand the process. This guy that plays both sides, that can play both sides, I hope, from what I was gathering, was it just wasn't a fit for him at Bama. So I'm thinking if they can get him in on the field and then he can kind of help make a change. But Tech's been doing pretty good on getting some names in, but I've been hearing some on other shows and whatnot. Just we're getting some of the leftovers. It feels like
Hmm.
we just have to get what we can get. The quarterback from Missouri has had a visit today, I believe. So like, why is he leaving? Is it the program? Is it his talent? So you get these guys moving around. It just makes me curious on what's really going on.
Yeah, transfer portal's overrated. Hate the whole thing. Lane Kiffin was in Knoxville though, chasing Sam Levitt. In case you missed that, that was big story. But I don't know. I'm ready to lock it down to one transfer a year. I decided that to or transfer one transfer for your career. Sorry, not a year, idiot. But I mean, it's dumb. Just quit. It's too much to try to keep up with it.
Yeah, yeah, Dan. On that, you know, should it be like one move or should they get more moves? You think, Dan?
You got to limit it, or at least have them do 2 years, I would say, at one school. If you're going to transfer, you got to do at least 2 years because it's not helping the program, not helping the kids. So they go for these jobs. I mean, they go to a school, lose a starting job, and they leave like right away. Instead of so they're not getting developed. And that's gonna be a problem down the road for the NFL when they get these guys because they're not developing fully. Like Nick Saban would talk about how he'd bring in these 5-star recruits, they'd practice against other 5-star recruits, and they'd get better. And that's why you saw these guys in the Alabama kept going really high, like in the draft, because they were getting developed by one of the best, Nick Saban. While we're in the transfer part, I do got to ask you though, Sam Levitt, he was the quarterback last year for Arizona State. He's now the number one quarterback left in the portal. He's down to 3 teams. One of those is Tennessee. It's Tennessee, Miami, and LSU. Can the Vols get him, you think?
No,
No. Okay.
LSU he goes. I
You
don't
think he's
know
going to
though.
LSU? Yeah.
I mean that's my
Or
guess.
Miami. Yeah.
I mean, I
Is
guess
he? Yeah.
if
He said this afternoon it's down to three. Sorry.
national championship team would be a good place to go to, I suppose. But
Hmm.
um, LSU offered him 3.5 million is the rumor. I don't think we're gonna offer anybody that. I just don't see that happening. I don't want to get him as a fan, just for the record. I just want to play what we've got and get somebody some
Hmm.
experience, have a quarterback for more than 1 year. So we'll see.
Well, I've
Yeah.
been following it. Sorry, wait.
Um.
So I'll go quick through this. I know you gotta
Yeah.
go. Keep going.
Yeah.
The issue with Sam Levitt has been with him in the portal is his brother, who's older, was in the NFL, is out now. So he wants people to hire his brother, like as an agent. So pretty much you got to pay him and his brother, and that's why some of those teams have backed off. So, but he did announce this afternoon though he does have it down to three: Tennessee, LSU, or Miami. So I guess it depends. If you want to open up the money, you can bring him in, but it looks like you're getting the family with him also, which is kind of a, sticky situation.
Yeah.
We've
You try to
already had
mix
the
them.
family once with Nico. We don't want anything to do with family. So,
Yeah, so
see ya.
mhm.
Yeah, I think he'll go to LSU. That's my guess. I think it'll be
Yeah.
between LSU and Miami. I think he'll cut out Tennessee. I saw he was up there a couple of days ago, and then Lane went up there to go snag. I saw there's all kind of stuff online about him going
Mhm.
up there to go get him, bring him back to
Mhm.
LSU. But I think Miami could have a good chance at him. They're
Mhm.
gonna toss some money to him.
Mhm.
That school loves to throw money around. So
Mhm.
and they might win it all this year. So there's a lot of
Mhm.
good backstories into all this of where he might pick. Which I heard he's got a foot injury, so he'll miss some of spring practice, is what I was hearing with his ankle or
Mhm.
foot. So he'll be a little
Yeah.
bit of a slow process on him on getting some playing time in the spring. But he's a good quarterback, and but yeah, I think he'll go to LSU. Is my guess.
Mhm.
All right, well, it is that time, Dan. We're gonna get into the NFL playoffs. We'll start with this
Mhm.
first one here: Rams, Panthers. That was at 4:30 on Fox on Saturday afternoon, I guess you could say. Halftime, it was 17-14 Rams. Fourth quarter, this is when it gets good here for me. The block punt by the Panthers, and then the touchdown for the Panthers there with 2:39 to go. But then the Rams come back and they score a touchdown with 38 seconds to go. So the Rams get the win 34-31 and knock out the Panthers, which they got in there with the help from the Falcons. It was a
Mhm.
packed house there in Charlotte. They had a good crowd, and I thought for a second they were gonna get it. But Dan, so let's talk about this one a little bit. So the Rams, they're a five
Mhm.
seed. Dan, do you think they're gonna make it
Mhm.
pretty far?
I think so. I actually had a pick to go to the Super Bowl before the playoffs began. I love that
Okay.
roster, love the coach. I wish they would have got that one seed though. It'd been so much nice to have those games at home because they're gonna have to travel across the country. So it looks, I don't know how this game's gonna end up right now, but they're probably gonna have to go either to it would be Seattle or Chicago next week, and depends how this game ends up. But so they have to win three road games to get to the Super Bowl. But they got one down, two to go.
Yeah, they're a good team, and I feel like they got a good coach, and I feel like they're gonna
Mhm.
make it far. Casper, you got anything on that game?
Not really, you know. I mean, not a whole lot to say. The Panthers just never going to be able to get it done. You know,
Yeah.
Jake Delhome's gone. That was what 20 years ago now when I was a kid. So, they don't got it. So, can't win at home.
All
Worst
right.
division in football.
Mhm.
All right. Well, that's gonna lead me right into where I want to be. You got seven Packers at the two Bears. 8 o'clock on Prime last night. Man, that's two teams. I'm just a fan down here in the South, so I don't know a lot of this, Dan, but there are two teams that somewhat close by to each other. They don't like each other. It was getting chippy
Mhm.
in the pregame. And
Mhm.
as a fan, I'll go first on this. I don't mind the pregame chit chat, if you want to call it that.
Mhm.
I like it. I don't really like it, but I like when they, the coach kind of got to hold them back, and they get a little bit
Mhm.
of NASCAR style fight out there with
Mhm.
they get everybody got to hold everybody back, and they got a little something to say. And there towards the end, I guess they got the last thought there at the end of the game. I'll get into that here at the very end. But as a fan down here, I would have been cool to see the Packers get the win. Just I'll kind of let you talk about this game, Dan.
Yeah, they had it. 21-3 at halftime. Even had a 28-16, I think it was. Yeah, 27-16, excuse me, in the 5 minutes to go. Defense far apart at the end. They didn't make the kicks. We talked about this earlier. Last 7 points on the board, two missed field goals and an extra point, and three touchdowns in the first half, and then three punts following that to begin the second half. The offense couldn't add any more points. You had the ball up 21-3. You had and you couldn't get any points there. You did a missed field goal and then a really quick three and outs. That was it. You had to make it 24-28. Just bury them where you have the chance. And you let the Bears stick around, stick around, stick around. And this Bears team, kind of the cardiac Bears, they stick around and they hit you at the end. And that's what happened again. I don't know how many comeback wins is this for them this season, but it seems like it's what, seven or eight? They just always seem to be clutch when they need to be at the last minute or two.
Yeah, just Packers. They got to make the field goals. They missed that one late, and I was sitting there watching it, and I was like, man, they got the lead. Halftime was looking good for them, and they're a
Hmm.
team that's got good experience with the playoffs and
Hmm.
going far. And I texted you about it at halftime, and I talked to
Hmm.
you. Maybe it was a Wednesday night. I texted you or something like that, kind of asking about the
Hmm.
game and
Yeah.
just injuries. Maybe was that part of it? You think?
Well, yeah, you lose Michael Parsons. He's one of the better pass rushers in the league. I guess Myles Garrett's probably number one. Tucker Kraft, maybe a top two or three tight end. He goes down with an ACL without him. Another name, Devontae Wyatt. Not really a household name, but he's a Pro Bowl run stuffer. He went down in the Detroit game back in December. So you lost three marquee players. And then I know it's not an excuse though. I mean, you got to win these games. I mean, but yeah, the injuries hurt them big time down the stretch. But you had to make those plays, and the big plays were not made by the Packers in the end. They were made by the Bears, and that's why they're hosting a playoff game next weekend.
Yeah. All right, Dan. So, thoughts on the year, Dan? Was it a good year? Was it from a week one to week 18 or so? What was your thought on the year?
Oh, it was a failure. There's no way to put it. You traded two first-round picks to get Michael Parsons. You make that trade to win now, and you pay him $150 million. I know he's injured, but still, you went all in on this season and maybe next. And when you go do all that and you lose in the first round, no, it's not good enough. You didn't win the division. You barely had a winning record. So no, this was not a successful season.
Hmm. Yeah, that sounds. I mean, that's a good way to sum it up.
Mhm.
So what'd you give the year like from an A to an F? What would be the grade?
I'll do the college. I'll say CD. It was below average. I mean, you can't go F. You still had a winning
Yeah,
record. You made the playoffs. So you don't want to be that harsh. But yeah,
yeah.
it wasn't. No, I mean, you can't give them a passing grade for this season. 9-7-1 is not good enough with what you put into that roster and the talent you have. No.
As a fan, how long does it take to get over a loss like that?
A while. I mean, I feel better if the Bears lose next weekend, but if they go on a run, seeing your rival win when you had them down would be tough. I mean, I still haven't got over the Seattle game from 10 or so years ago. Yeah, it's brutal. I guess you look forward to baseball season begins in a couple, I guess, what pitchers and catchers report in what 35 days. But yeah, this one's going to sting for a while up in Wisconsin.
Yeah,
Losing that way and losing to the Bears makes it even worse. Hmm.
I was curious on that,
Yeah.
because I know you're a diehard and you're big into it, and when you have passion for your team
Hmm.
and you watch the games, you keep up with it, and to see
Hmm.
it, and to see it end that way was
Hmm.
tough. And if my team,
Hmm.
if I was a fan of my team, and then they lost
Hmm.
like that, just that's not what you want. And um, you know, for next year, should the team go get like a receiver? Do they need linemen? What do they need?
Well, they need a cornerback. They need a number one shutdown cornerback. Now, how you get it is tricky. So we don't have a first round pick the next 2 years. Not a lot of salary cap space. So you've kind of got to get lucky, hit on a free agent. Last year they went on and got Nate Hobbs from the Vegas Raiders, and he was a complete bust. Like he even got benched during the season. He was supposed to be their big thing. Um, Otherwise, besides that, I mean, you're probably gonna get the a pass rusher. You're gonna get Parsons back. I'm guessing late September, probably based on everything. But I mean, but yeah, it's not. It's it's frustrating, obviously, to see how they're going to do it. So, the biggest thing is who's going to be the coach. Who you have
Yeah,
coaching next season is going to be the big question mark. Um, and that's going to tell you the direction of the franchise. Do you get an offensive coach, a defensive coach? Do you stick with LaFleur and you go from there?
yeah, it's a good way to sum it up there. I said be some change up there in Green Bay next
Hmm.
year, and that's a team I always like to see do well. And now that they've got rid of like Rodgers and other names in the past that were up there, so they've kind of
Hmm.
cleaned the house a little bit. And
Hmm.
any thought on him, Dan? You got any thoughts on Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers,
Yeah, yeah,
well, he's 42 right now. He'll be 43 during the season next year.
yeah.
Do I think he's going to play? I don't see a franchise turn the keys over to him. I mean, like what? I mean, to bring him in, you would have to have a team who's ready to win right now. Like a team who needs a quarterback who's young, like the Raiders, not going to bring on Rodgers at age 42, 43.
Yeah.
Does Pittsburgh bring him back for one more year to try to run it back with him? And that depends on how tomorrow night's game goes. If they win tomorrow, they finally get that playoff win for the first time in what, 10 years or so, maybe. But if they lose again in the first round, do they just move on from Tomlin, move on from Rodgers, just kind of do like a reset? My gut tells you what's going to happen is he won't be on the roster to begin the season next year, but he might do like a Joe Flacco type of thing. Like if somebody goes down, like Burrow did this year at Cincinnati, he comes in and tries to do the save the season type of thing. But the one thing with Aaron Rodgers is he likes people talking about Aaron Rodgers. He likes being in the news. So I'm guessing he'll probably do that. He'll drag it out the offseason, won't be on a roster, and then he'll wait for an injury to occur, and then he'll try to come in and be the hero.
I think that's a solid prediction on Aaron Rodgers. I really like that. That's also how I
Mhm.
feel. Yeah, I think that as far as his career with like the Steelers go, I mean, either they're going to win and he's going to retire because they're winning, or they're going to lose and then they're going to be like, "See you, bye, moving on." So I think that's actually pretty smart concept on the whole comeback when somebody gets hurt next year, and he does like to hear about himself. So
Hmm.
uh, more than anybody I've ever known in football, actually. But
Hmm.
we'll see what happens. I
Uh,
one thing you mentioned too, the cardiac bears. Like, at what point are they going to run out? I mean, that's I guess your one thing. They do always have to come back this year. They've had so many of those late game wins, but sometime you run out. Kind of like we talked about the Alabama going for it on fourth down. Eventually, you run out. Like you got to be ahead. I don't know how that game fell apart. I went to bed when it was 21-3. I was like, it's over. I was moving all day yesterday. I was like, I'm done. So I went to bed, but hate that for the Packers fans. I know a couple down here too, and they were heartbroken this morning when I opened my messenger. So we'll see what happens, but I don't think they'll make it far.
all right, we'll move on to the Bills and the Jaguars. That was today at 1 o'clock. Halftime was 10-7 the Bills, and then the Bills got the win 27-24. So that was the pick that I had, and I got the Bills to move on. So that worked out pretty good. On that one, Dan, Bills wise, I think they're a pretty good team. It'd be
Hmm.
cool to see them kind of get far.
Yeah, Josh Allen, that was the key today. That
Yeah.
10 yard on 10 yards on the QB sneak. That was the game. So he did that. Josh, and then Trevor Lawrence gets the ball and throws a pick. So yeah, Trevor Lawrence, good quarterback. Josh Allen, great quarterback. That was a difference today. Hmm.
Yep, that sounds good right there. All right, the Niners and the Eagles are playing right now, so that's going on right now on Fox. Um, the Chargers and the Patriots. That's NBC tonight. That should be a really good game. I'd
Hmm.
be cool to see the Patriots get the win there and keep moving there. And then they got the Texans and the Steelers. That is tonight or tomorrow on ABC. So that'd be one to watch. Is there a team you got, Dan, that you think is gonna make it all the way? You got any kind of picks for us, Dan?
Oh, the team actually I really like, I'm gonna surprise you with this, is the Texans. I love that defense. They began the year 0-3, and they finished 12-5. So if they would be 12-2 right now, we'd be given a lot more respect right now. That defense, they have what, two guys with 20 sacks, something like that on that defense. They get after you. I think CJ Stroud's having a much better season. I kind of like the Texans to make a run in that AFC. There's no dominant team. You mentioned the Bills. They have the best quarterback, but that defense doesn't look, they played good today, but that defense I don't trust. And they have to do all road games. They're not going to have any games in Buffalo, unless for some miracle they play the Chargers in the AFC Championship game. So I kind of like the Texans. Patriots, young team, but experienced coach, maybe, and then Denver, other team too, you got to keep an eye on. Again, young team, but experienced coach. So maybe these coaches, Peyton and Vrabel, just have those young teams ready, and they're going to have home games too.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna get good here in the next few weeks, and we're really gonna see how it all goes. It'd be cool to see the Broncos. Have them make a road because they've been down for the last couple of years. I guess since Peyton left. So
Yeah, they haven't won a playoff game since he left.
that's crazy. You think about that. So it's time for them to get going. They got a Nix as a quarterback here. So we got a Bo Nix. So I think he's going to be
Mhm.
good. He's going to get that team going where it needs to go. So
But that defense is the defense is what's key for them, and they have all home games too. So you get the bye, and you get two home games, make it to the Super Bowl.
so
Mhm.
I got one for buys there, Dan. Should teams get buys, you think, or should they just keep playing early on?
No, I like the buys. It gives them to play for. Look at this, like even this season, there really wasn't much drama with who's going to get into the playoffs, but that bye gives you an extra added benefit. So week 17, week 18, it means more important games. So like if 1 and 2 didn't matter, you'd have more guys resting in week 18. But when you add that buy-in or that carrot, it makes the guys play an extra week, or
Yeah.
makes them try an extra week, I should say.
Yeah. Thankfully, they don't make them wait 25 days in NFL like they do in college, play the next game when they
Mhm.
get a bye. So
Mhm.
don't have the same thing.
Yeah, that college wait time is a long, long time. Hopefully there'll be some change on that. All right, anything else you got for the NFL, Dan?
No, do you have any picks for tonight, you guys, or tomorrow night, I should say, either of those two?
Yes, I got one for later. Yep.
Okay. Oh yeah, we'll do
And
that later. Sorry.
okay, that's okay. And then tonight, Eagles, they got to lead right now, but it'd be cool to see the Eagles move on. I think I've got them in my bracket there
Yeah.
to advance.
Hmm. Yeah, I think Kittle went down with an Achilles injury, brutal for
Yeah.
him. So he's down probably for the
I
well,
saw that.
obviously
Yeah.
this season and probably some of next season too.
Oh,
So
For
that's
sure.
another huge loss. San Francisco, they lost Warner, Fred Warner, that is. They lost Nick Bosa. It's kind of Packers-esque in the sense that they got there, but they really needed to win last weekend to get that bye to get healthy. The NFL schedule did them no favor. They had a Monday night game, a Sunday night game, and then a Saturday night game. So they had 3 games and then 12 days. I think they came in today just so banged up from that brutal schedule down the stretch that they just didn't have much left.
Yeah. Somehow right now they're still trying to make a shot here. So we'll see what happens when that one closes
Yeah,
out. But
Kyle
they're still
Shanahan might be
fighting.
coach of yeah, Shanahan might be coach of the year right now.
Yeah.
yeah.
Actually, that's a good question for you guys. Who would you consider to be the coach of the year in the NFL? Who'd you give it to?
Go ahead, Casper.
Yeah, don't ask me. I'm not educated enough to give a guess like that. What are you talking
Are
about?
you?
Well, I'd go Kyle Shanahan, getting that team up there with all those injuries. Mhm.
I like it.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I
Mhm.
like that one too because when it comes to NFL stuff, I'm maybe not the best at it. All right, I like that question. That was good. I have to get back with you on that one, Dan. I'll have to send you a text on that one. I'll have to give you an
Okay.
I
answer off
do
the
like,
show.
Mhm.
for me, I like Vrabel going up there and winning. I do like
Mhm.
that. First of all,
Mhm.
leave the Titans because the
Mhm.
Titans just can't ever win because of the Titans. And everybody's like, oh, it's the coach. I do like to see him win because I know a couple Titans guys around here. I like to give a hard time too. So
Mhm.
good to see him doing that. Plus Drake May, but I don't know that means he's coach of the year. They got some pretty good players up
Yeah.
there too.
Another candidate is Ben Johnson with the Bears.
Yeah, to turn that around down there, I guess
Yeah.
that's a
Hmm.
pretty big deal for sure.
Hmm.
All right, we will jump on into picks of last week with me and Casper. I had Ole Miss keep it close to win. That did not happen. The Bucks and the Kings. I had the Bucks to cover that spread, and they won by 7 or more. And then I had Syracuse at Georgia Tech in basketball. Had Syracuse, and they indeed got the win. Casper had Miami to win by 4 or more, and that's what happened. Indiana win by 5 or more, and that's exactly what happened. And then he had Texas on the money line over Tennessee, and Tennessee showed out and got the win. Casper was there. You got anything
Yeah.
right quick on that game?
I'm embarrassed for my home state. I've got a $4 ticket to go watch Tennessee play basketball. Anybody in Knoxville, Chattanooga, whatever you want to go watch them play. Apparently, weeknights is the night to go. It's like $4 to get in. Nobody there in that place for that game, and then they went and lost after the win at Texas. So got killed by Florida. I would expect it to be probably $4 this week if you want to go back. So maybe I'll go again. We'll see.
Yep, they got Texas A&M. Was it Tuesday? And then they got Kentucky on Saturday. So both at
Ugh.
home. So that'd be something for the fan base to go check out. Casper got the win on the tiebreaker, so that is 5-4 on the picks on the show. And I got a really good gift idea for the picks, so we'll have to kind of have to wait to see on all. I'll make the announcement
Oh,
here later on that. All right, picks of the weekend. I get to go first on this one. Pittsburgh at Georgia Tech, college basketball. Give me Georgia Tech to get the win. I'm gonna go the main line. Give me the Jackets to win. Texans at the Steelers. I'm gonna say, give me the Steelers at home. It's gonna be cold. They're gonna get it done. That's tomorrow night. And then Tennessee versus Kentucky. I'm gonna make a little hat change real quick.
oh
Give me the
wow.
Vols to win. They're gonna win. They're gonna get it done. Saturday night against Saturday at 12 is when the game is, so they're gonna get it done, I think.
Kiss of death right there.
All right, Casper, I'll let you name out your picks of the weekend.
Give me the Texans -3. Aaron Rodgers is a natural born choker. I hate Aaron Rodgers. Only because of one dude I know, but I hate Aaron Rodgers, so I'd like to see them lose. I give me the Tar Heels over Stanford on their West Coast trip. Play Stanford and Cal this week. And give me Jonathan Davenport to win the Saturday night finale of the Wild West Shootout. Take home the big check. Bring it right on back here in the Longhorn on the pick and choose schedule, baby.
Yes. All right, Dan, you got any picks for us?
I'm gonna agree with him. I'm gonna go Texans over the Steelers. I think the defense is gonna get after Rodgers. He doesn't have the speed to get around anymore. If they can just get some pressure on him, it's gonna be tough. Um, NBA tonight, I'm gonna go my Milwaukee Bucks over the Denver Nuggets. No Joker, and they've been 3-3 without the Joker since. And the Bucks are hot right now. I think a lot of people aren't on this, but I think the Bucks go in there and they beat the Nuggets tonight. And then I got to do one more, don't I?
Yeah.
I guess I'll go tonight's game. I'll pick the Patriots. I'll give the points. I think the Pats are gonna cover the spread. So I
Okay.
think they beat the Chargers. Yeah. Same thing. Southern team traveling across the country, cold weather. Yeah, give me the Pats.
Okay. I
I
like
like
that.
it.
Mhm, mhm.
All right. The tiebreaker for me and Casper is the over or the points for the Seahawks and or for the
No
what was
points
the
for
game?
the Steelers and the
Steelers. Okay, Steelers and Tech.
Texans.
Okay, I got 58 for my total points on my end.
Oof, that seems a little high. Give me about
Yeah.
let me go 39.
39. Okay.
Yeah.
I, I've gone low in the past. I'm going to try a little higher.
Mhm.
All right. Well, that being said, oh, I got one last thought. Something new I'm doing on the show if we got time, and I'm gonna do one last thought. Monday 3:30 is going to be the NASCAR points announcement for all the NASCAR fans out there listening to the show. I'm excited. I have a feeling what it might be, but you know what? You never know with that bunch. They're gonna switch it up a little bit. So I like the old style. Sit back, let it cook, but they're not gonna let it cook. They guys got burnt, and they're gonna change it out, and we're gonna see how it goes. But that's my one last thought. You got one, Casper?
My one last is I hope somehow TBS gets the Braves back. The Braves canceled their deal with FanDuel Sports Network, as did 8 teams, as they backed into another money situation there. If somehow we could get the Braves off of the stupid Bally Sports, FanDuel Sports Network, whatever that group is, if we could just get them somehow on network TV, that would be the best thing that could happen. So that's what I'm hoping for. Somehow, some way.
All right, Dan, what you got for one last thought?
One last thought. My Badgers basketball. They went on the road and beat the number 2 team in the country, Michigan. So nice win for Great Guard and the boys.
All right, I like it. That sounds good. All
Mhm.
right, we're gonna shut it down. Thanks for watching, everybody. Like, share, and subscribe on the YouTube if you would. You can follow us on Facebook, X, Instagram, Spotify. Yeah, you fan mail if you want to do any comments in the video here on YouTube or Spotify, or send us something online, Facebook, X. We will answer it on the show. Thanks for coming on, Dan. It's cool to have you on the
No
show.
problem. Yep. Yep. Thanks, guys.
And with that being said, we're going to say see you in the next one.